Hello everybody, today I wanted to show you something that I got locally. I didn't have a clue that these existed and was approached to do a trade for this guitar for one I was selling on Marketplace. It's called a Squier 51, and for those of you like me a few weeks back that had no idea that these existed, let me introduce you to something really special. The 51 is an electric guitar whose original models were made between 2003 and 2006 by the Fender owned brand Squier. The 51 is known for being one of the very few original designs made by Squier, and he's quickly achieved a cult status, especially the original first issue models, mostly due to its lovely thin comfortable neck and unique sound, but this was also sold cheap enough for players to buy and modify, though many chose to simply leave them as they were. The guitar proved so popular during this original 3-year run that even Fender later released the 51 in 2011 as part of the Fender Pawn Shop series, after they had become aware of its desirability amongst the switched on guitar community. Now the guitar you see here today is an original first issue model, and you can tell this by a couple of points. It has a top loader bridge, whereas the reissues that were brought back in 2013 were string through bodies, and the original models have a 1-ply pickguard. Even though the vintage blonde was always photographed with a black pickguard, the original was in fact released with both a black and a white pickguard, though the white pickguard was dropped completely in 2004, and some say it was because it was prone to warping. So due to the much smaller production and relative rarity of the blonde body white pickguard, this model you see here has become the most sought after and highly valued 51, according to many fans. Now when I traded this guitar, I noticed that it did have a couple of niggly faults. The first was the original machine heads that weren't great on this model, which was surprising as Squiers usually have decent machine heads that give very stable tuning, the older models especially. The only string that was very stable was the high E, and on closer inspection I found this to have been replaced, and quite annoyingly with a totally different kind to the rest of them. The other issue was the input jack, which was emitting an awful noise if you just so much as moved when the guitar was plugged in. The first problem with this guitar is this. Now, as soon as you move it, it's this jack socket. I had originally planned to modify this guitar and sell it on, but after I played it for the first time I was completely blown away by the unique sound that this guitar made. It sounded so good that I immediately knew that the only thing I should and could do was respect its original specifications and just fix the problems at hand, which was a set of new machine heads and a new input jack. Now before I take you through the repairs and give you some samples of what a fantastic and versatile guitar this is, let's have a look at it on the bench. Now this guitar boasts several of the features reserved for some of Fender's most popular guitars. It has the body of a Stratocaster, though it is thinner than a standard Stratocaster body. It has a Telecaster style neck which really is to die for, and both the pickguard and chrome control panel is more than just a simple nod to the famous precision bass model. It has a humbucker pickup in the bridge position and a single coil at the neck. There are 2 knobs on the control panel. One is the volume knob, but the lower one isn't a tone knob. It's a 3-position rotary switch, which gives you the option of bridge, bridge with neck, or neck alone. The lack of a tone knob you would think would cause something to feel missing, but this is what I believe that gives the 51 its unique sound. But that's not all. The volume knob also controls the coil splitting function for the bridge humbucker, so it gives you even more options to choose from. The weight of this guitar is lovely too, and it weighs in at £7. It has a 25.5-inch scale, and if you're very lucky, some of these early models boast some real nice bird's eye figuring on these beautiful 2-piece necks that have a laminated maple fingerboard, just as you can see on this model here. For the sake of anyone out there that is interested in modifying these guitars, I've removed the pickguard to show you that sadly the neck position has only been routed to house a single coil pickup, so anyone that wanted to put a humbucker into the neck of this guitar, they would need to do some routing of their own. The control cavity is also not really big enough to house a selector switch, and again, should you wish to add a tone knob to this model, you would need to do a little more routing and then use a Telecaster control plate, which seems to be the most popular way. There is the possibility that you could fit a 3-way micro switch onto this control panel, maybe at one end or in the middle, but this could prove to be slightly awkward. These are all quite important points to consider should you wish to buy one of these guitars with the idea of modifying it. The original 51 was polyurethane coated in 3 colours, 2-tone sunburst, vintage blonde and black. The Fender Pawn Shop also had a black model, but when Squier reissued the 51 in 2013, it no longer incorporated the black model, but added a candy apple red to the range instead. The Squier 51 was discontinued again in October 2016. There is much more information on these guitars over on the Squier 51 Club and the Squier 51 Modders Facebook pages, which I will leave a link to in the description box below. So all I did to this guitar was change the machine heads, which is a relatively easy job to do, and I made sure to choose some that would be in keeping with the originals. I then changed the input jack, which again wasn't a difficult job to do, and the fitting was just a reversal or the removal of the old one. The main point to remember here is to remember there are 2 wires and where they are soldered, but a simple picture with your mobile will ensure that there are no mistakes. As always, with all my guitars they get a thorough service, electrics included, a fret polish, a good clean, new strings and a complete setup, which includes action and intonation. The pickups are both ceramic, but they really are quite unique, so I'd urge everyone to have a good play before considering changing them. The readings for these pickups are 937 on the bridge humbucker, 363 on the single coil neck, and a blend of both the bridge and the neck reads at 263. The bridge pickup coil split is 471, and the blend of both bridge coil split and neck reads at 205, which is what I think gives this guitar its unique sound. Obviously pickup sounds are very subjective, but these for me at least have a real different but versatile sound to them. Here are some samples of each position. One last point is the name of this guitar. It's called a 51 because this was the year Fender released a precision bass, which this guitar is so obviously a nod to, with its core features such as the Telecaster neck, headstock, pickguard and control plate. So before I leave you with a sample of how great this infamous guitar is in a mix, I hope you enjoyed the video and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. As always, if you have found this content entertaining or useful, then please like and subscribe, as this helps me keep doing these independent reviews and demonstrations. Thank you all for watching.